Hey, what's going on, internet? It's Milkstarz here, and today we're gonna be going over the 4 phases of becoming a developer. Hope you're ready for some knowledge. Let's get right into it. The first developer that we're gonna talk about is the junior developer. The junior developer is probably somebody that has around 0 to 2 years of experience, and they have a solid understanding of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is a great foundation to have. Now, these types of developers, while they do have a solid foundation, don't know the best practices of doing every single thing they would need to do on a web page. They may know, there's a header on the page, there's a content, and then, there's the footer, and they know, have an idea of how they could make that, but they don't know, like, let's say, the industry standards on how that's made. Junior developers are also known for needing guidance, especially when it comes to more complicated concepts, like HTTP requests, or handling promises, or things along those lines. We've all been there, and if you're one of those, let me know in the comments below. The next phase of a web developer, in my opinion, is the full stack developer, or what I call the C.R.U.D developer, and you'll find out what C.R.U.D means in a second. An intermediate developer would be someone with about 2 to 5 years of experience. They dabbled a little bit with just about everything, so they have a solid understanding about how everything comes together. Now, here's what a full stack developer could do. If you told a full stack developer to go work on the front end of a site, they'd be like, okay. And if you told them to either go create web servers or whatever they need so they can handle the data coming from the databases, they'd probably be like, okay. The reason why I call them C.R.U.D developers is because a lot of the times what they'll be working on are C.R.U.D apps. Now, if you don't already know, C.R.U.D stands for create, read, update, and delete. For example, let's take a look at a popular website like Twitter. If you really dig down deep and look at the core functionalities of Twitter, and you can see this from their API, there's 4 main things that a person on Twitter can do. They can, 1, create tweets, which is creating messages that they can send out onto the Twitterverse. 2, they can read other people's tweets and message them about them. 3, they can update their personal information, which can relate back to who they are or what their business is. And 4, they can delete their tweets. Now, what separates the intermediate developer from the advanced developer is that they may not know all of the different little things that make creating an advanced C.R.U.D application simple. Now, you may be wondering, Malik, it doesn't really sound that hard. You create things, you read things, you update things, you delete things. What could be so hard? Things can get a little bit tricky if you want to edit, let's say, 50 rows and you need to find them when they're spread out through like a 3 million to 4 million user database. On to the third developer, the unsung hero. The guy we always wanted but never deserved. That guy that makes all of the frameworks we never knew really how it worked, but we know we use it anyway because it's very popular. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the advanced developer. The advanced developer is a person that has been working for, let's say, 5 to 10 years in the web industry, and they've got a really solid understanding. And the thing about this part is there's not a lot of people that actually make it into this area. These are the people that create those tools, those utilities, those frameworks, those libraries that all the web developers use and love. They've had their fair share of creating C.R.U.D applications. They've had their fair share of creating, basic websites, and they've done everything in between, from making web servers to making server-side calls to working between multiple servers and handling CORS issues, which I will cover in another video. And since they pretty much have worked with everything, a lot of the work that they do now is what I would like to think is optimization. Now, you may wonder, Malik, what's optimization exactly? Like, that's such a broad term. Whether you're working on the front end or the back end, or even if you're working on the server side, there's tons of different optimizations you can make to make your website or application run a whole lot faster. Keep in mind, when I say a whole lot faster, I mean shaving off 1 or 2 seconds off of your load time when you're at a website. Now, that sounds insignificant right now, but over time, 1 to 2 seconds starts adding up really fast. If you can save time, then you're gonna be ahead, because you know, time is money. One of the biggest reasons why websites load slow is because they have a lot of HTTP requests that are coming through when the website first loads. I'll pull up an example right here of Facebook to show you how many HTTP requests they have coming through. One of the easiest ways to reduce HTTP requests on your page is to combine all of your CSS and JavaScript files into one file. Now, that's where a lot of bundlers and pre-packaging software comes into play that you'll hear about on different forums or on the internet. There have been many different build tools that have gone on for years and years, even starting way back in the 70s with Make. Some of the popular ones include Gulp, Grunt, Webpack, and Browserify. The last phase of a web developer is very technical, but you won't be writing much code. These are going to be known as the architects. These architects are going to be in charge of 2 to 3 developers, overseeing everything from how many databases are going to be used to how are there going to be servers that are going to be used. If so, which ones? Do we need to apply load balancers in those? Which ones and why? Past the software architect, it turns into more and more of a management role, so you don't have to become a software architect. If you want to stay as an intermediate advanced developer, there's no problem with that, and the pay is good and it's definitely great. Hey everybody, thanks for watching my video on the 4 phases of a web developer. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button below. It helps me a lot and gives me encouragement to make more videos like this. Also, make sure you go and check me out on Facebook and Twitter. I have the links posted down in the description. It'll give you a heads up on when I'm coming out with a new video or when I just posted a new video. Until the next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Jake the dog, high five.